Hello, everyone. Let's do our regular sound check. Guys, for those who are here for the first time, Tatiana is being translated simultaneously by a male interpreter. So don't be scared, okay? So I see that the sound is loud and clear. My name is Tatiana Zhuravleva. I represent the Academy of Private Investors. I'm a certified host of Genius of Finance, and I'm also a project manager for two projects, Genius of Finance board game and the Genius of Finance online version. Now, today's webinar will take 1 hour, and it is intended mainly for those people who are not familiar with the game that I'm going to talk about. Do we have a lot of first comers at today's meeting and who hears for the first time about the Genius of Finance and would like to receive some more detailed information? We're being now broadcast in 10 languages, literally across the entire world. Therefore, guys, I would like to see some feedback from you. And tell me, give me a plus if this is the first time that you're hearing about the Genius of Finance. Today is an introduction webinar. The Academy of Private Investors was founded in 2011, and over its operations, there have been created a lot of training courses and a lot of theoretical and practical knowledge was delivered and skills. And then the management asked themselves, how can we make sure that our students are able to put their knowledge and skills into practice without losing any money? And in 2017, let's switch on to the next slide. We'll tell you a few words about the history of creation of the game-based training, Genius of Finance. So in 2017, the head of the Academy's primary education back then, Antonina Kianovskaya, proposed Andrei to develop a game-based training. And that game-based training allows you to exercise, to hone all your knowledge and skills that you receive at the academy and in the game format. That game is participated in by 6-8 people. It takes 4 or 5 hours to finish it, and throughout the game people are able to familiarize with the investment driven thinking. They understand what portfolio based thinking. They hone their negotiation skills. They learn how to present their investment project to investors. There are a lot of different things that you can practice during that game. And when the idea was accepted, the development of the game started, which took around a year. And the game was based on the portfolio thinking, which is multiple sources of income, making partnerships on mutually beneficial fund terms. The entire game is based on having a lot of long-term assets. Also, our intention was to make an international game that would be easy to understand and play in any country of the world. Therefore, in the development of that game participated various leaders from different countries. So development and testing took almost a year, and that game was first played in October 2017 in Yalta. Let's see how it happened on the next slide. Yes, those are photos from that event when the game was first presented to our partners, to our academy's students. And all of it happened at the birthday celebration of the company, since in October every year we have international meetings of our partners, and that's where we already used our approach of having international tournaments. But back then we used Robert Kiyosaki's Cash Flow and some other games, and during one of those tournaments was held in Yalta in October 2017, and the winners were the participants of our tournament. The game was quite interesting. People were able to see themselves the difference between the previously known financial games and our game, and they could make their assessment. Very soon, that game gained lots of popularity, and let's see on the next slide how we prepared our trainers. So this is the first version was devised as a training, and it was available only for qualified hosts or game masters. And over the last 3 years of our game's existence, we prepared almost 200 certified hosts or trainers in 14 countries across the world. And those people did a lot of work in order to promote, to popularize the financial literacy and our Academy of Private Investors in particular as the establishment that provides financial education, and to make this game available to as many people as possible. So for a person to become a certified host or a game master, they had to come to a special place or city, and there were people from different countries. I remember in Minsk, we had a training for game hosts, and there were more than 10 countries represented there. And we had that game translated, we had the training translated into different languages. So for 3 days, we had non-stop training, and every participant was able to participate, to play the game both as a player and as a host. And in 3 days, they receive quite a lot of experience. They realize how the game is played, the gameplay, so called, how they can provide information to the first comers of that game. And also, they get the overall picture of our company, how it works. And if we understand that people are good hosts, we certify them as certified hosts. So this is the team that we prepared over 3 years. And now let's see how much work has been done so far. So over those 3 years of the promotion of Genius Finance, those people were able to hold almost 100,000 trainings and 3 international tournaments. On the slide, you can see that in 2018, we had the biggest tournament for our game, Genius of Finance. It consisted of 15 playing tables with 12 countries or 12 teams from 12 countries being there. And that tournament was held with a prize pool. It had a prize pool, and we also awarded different prizes and gifts for the participants. And many countries wanted to participate in such international tournaments. And we will keep that practice. And as soon as the epidemiological situation in the world is more or less settled down, we will resume those tournaments. So this is the work that has been done so far. And on the next slide, you will see how many students and people willing to play we had. I think this is the best representation of our community. Last year in 2019 in Delhi, India, in October, we held Eventit 2019, which is the massive gathering of our partners. And on the photo, you can see just a small part of it. There were lots of people on that stadium, Indira Gandhi Stadium. And those of you who were there might remember the atmosphere of friendship and unity. And so it turned out that we have over 500,000 partners in the Academy of Private Investors, yet we had only a handful of hosts, like 200 hosts. And most of them could not travel to overseas countries. They could cover their own country, but the demand was quite high. That's why in early 2020, our company decided to develop the box version of the game, the board game, that does not require a game master without a professional host. Now let's see how it looks like. So it was decided to create that game, and throughout the year, we were working on the rebranding of that game. We developed a new logo, we developed a new design for the game too, and we significantly modified the game cards, the event cards. And on the next slide, I would like to show you how that game looks right now. So you can see that the board has changed. Previously, it was a little bit different. Well, not a little bit, it was different, but the structure is the same. There are two circles, two stages in the game. First, it's the internal circle, the small circle. We call it the circle of development, which has different game scenarios which hired personnel face in their life, or private entrepreneurs, small business opportunities. That's where people learn how to monetize their hobbies, or they learn how to participate in how to act on the stock market, securities, for example, like the first steps in investing. When we understand how capital is made, how you can achieve financial independence, that's where you can transition to the bigger format, to the bigger circle, which is the circle of success, where you can have large factories, hotels, agglomerates, holdings, and that's where you play big. That's how the game is played, and we are presenting it to you in this new format. Now let's see in what languages that game was translated into. We did dedicate quite a lot of time to the translation of that game into different languages. We needed to make it as to the best quality there is, so there are no misunderstandings. And we decided to translate that game into our main languages, in the languages of the countries where we have most partners. So let me read it out to you. It's Russian, English, Spanish, Italian, German, French, Hindi, Manipuri, Arabic, and Vietnamese. At the moment, those are our main translations. But I don't think we will stop at that, and we will translate that game into other languages as well. We already ran a survey among our partners, asking them what languages they want to see that game in, because the cost for the translation, for the development of the design and the printing are quite high. So if we have fewer than 500 people willing to buy that game, it becomes economically unfeasible to print that game in that language. As soon as we have at least 500 people willing to buy the game, that's where we can have that game translated into their language, designed, redesigned, and printed. Let's see what happened next. And now we have arrived at the manufacturing stage. At the moment, we had 10,000 copies printed. For now, the production facilities can be only in Russia because the copyright is Russian here. And I'll tell you about the process of copyright and patenting. So, as far as the production concerned, I can tell you the following. We found a major producer of board games in Moscow and placed an order with it. And since we weren't able to assemble or to have all the components of the game produced by one factory, we placed orders with different producers for different components. We had a producer of the pencils, for example, separately, dice, playing pieces, cradle. Cradle, by the way, cradle is an insert that goes into the box that serves as an organizer for the game, where you can put different components of the game in. There are certain sections inside. So this cradle is done in it has velvety texture, very nice to touch. And again, so the components were produced by different producers, and then we printed, assembled, and packaged in Moscow all the entire game, and it was done by a major producer of board games on a turnkey basis. Then we had all the labels attached and the games sorted by language. And all the languages are now we have different number of copies for different languages. We have two main languages, Russian and English, and we have 2,000 copies printed for each of those languages. Some of the languages have only 1,000 copies for them: Italian, Manipuri, Hindi, and Spanish, because lots of our partners speak those languages. And after a short survey, we decided that that's how many copies we need. And we have 4 more languages in which games were printed, in which only 500, in which 500 copies were printed, like Arabic, French, German, and I don't remember the fourth one. And those that placed the order will receive their game by Russian post. And the company is not ready to pay for the delivery too, because the delivery can have different costs depending on the point of destination. But I can tell you that it will cost approximately $25 for the overseas delivery. As for the Russian post inside Russia, it's gonna I think $5 to have that game shipped in Russia, within Russia. So those are the prices of the Russian post. So what else I wanted to tell you is what in every parcel will contain. In addition to the game, we also produced a bag with the logo of the game for you to be able to carry that game around, to take it to your neighbors, friends, or any other place where people would like to play that game. Because the Genius of Finance game-based training is also an instrument to get new partners involved into our system, training system, the Academy of Private Investors. In other words, we're using that game to deliver the importance, or to convey the importance of financial literacy and portfolio-based thinking to other people, and to explain to them why it is important to understand the potential behind the multi-level crowd investing. And we all know that the creation of big networks and big partnership companies plays very important role in our lives. And our company is also based on the principle of multi-level crowd investing. Let's see what happened next. Regarding the copyright, when we finished the development of the design of that game, we designed all the elements of the game and had it all printed, we were able to submit the documents for the patent and the copyright protection. And all that procedure takes a year approximately. Our lawyers are working on it. And as soon as we receive all the documents, every country will be able to produce that game outside Russia too. I think by summer 2021, we will be able to print those games on your territory without our partners having to wait for their parcels to arrive. But for now, the company can send those parcels only to individual buyers. And then in future, we will be able to print those games locally, and partners can go to the office and buy there, or make an order and have it delivered in a matter of couple of days without waiting for the overseas shipment. So let's move on to the next slide, see what is going up there. Let's discuss our plans, what we are planning to do in 2020, 2021. What remains of 2020. In 2021, we are planning to start a franchise. We would like to make a franchise out of this game and then allow our partners to produce and sell that game themselves. At the moment, there is no free sale in stores like Amazon and other retail outlets, is not planned. In the near future, we're going to sell it only through our back office of the API. And in 2021, possibly we will make a franchise out of this game to promote it, which will be available to our partners. But for the next year or two, we're not going to sell that game in the free market. And I would like to draw your attention to the fact that because of the epidemiological situation, the Russian Post cannot send parcels to certain countries. But you shouldn't be concerned. If you bought the game, it is reserved in your name. And as soon as the restrictions are lifted, we will have that game sent to the intended destination. I would like also to draw your attention to the fact that when you buy the game, you have to fill in the delivery form, which means that you have to specify the language that you would like to receive that game in. I already told you that we have 10 languages, and you can pick any of those 10 languages, and the game will be delivered to you in that language. Also, you need to specify the country of destination, to specify the zip code, the address, the name of the street, number of the house, and the correct name of the recipient, the first name and the last name. It must not necessarily be you. You can have that game sent to any specified address, and a person whose name you specified will receive it. Maybe you want to make a birthday or a New Year's or Christmas gift to someone. And if you do that, we can have that game shipped to them. So those are our plans for the next year. And also, let's take a look at a different format of the game. And I would like our moderators to switch the slides. In addition to the box version this year, we also placed an order for the development of the online version. For now, it's going to be only a web-based application. For now, we're not going to have a mobile application. At the next stage, we will develop a Android and iOS based application. For now, it's still a web application, and you will be able to play the Genius of Finance on your computer, or it can be played on a mobile phone if you use the desktop mode on your mobile phone. And the online version will simply be a copy of the box version. There will be automated calculations made, whereas in the box version, you will have to make a lot of calculations. You will have to keep track of your assets, liabilities, income, expenditures, calculate certain how like your criteria or eligibility to receive a loan. Whereas online, in an online version, all the calculations will be made in your stead. So let's take a look how that game looks like, which is still being developed. I ask you to switch on to the next slide and let's see the interface.
Well, the project and the way it went. In April this year, we entered into a conclusion with the design team. We ran a tender, and in May, we actually signed the terms of reference with the full description what we want to get in the end as an outcome. And then the team started to design. And this box version is, and online version is the efforts of this team designing the logo and the single design both for online and box version. Then the mock-ups were translated into a number of languages I mentioned above, and the development started from August to November. The team, after they got the terms of reference, they started developing, and we didn't know what we will get. But in November, we started domestic testing. Domestic testing, that is to check the functionalities for their compliance with the rules and the terms of reference. So what should be done from the technical point of view and whether it is in compliance with the vision of Andrei Havratov. And the first thing when you enter the game website is an offer to register. After this short registration, you make up your login, your password, you can enter the system. And in the next slide, let's have a look at the demo version. So the computer starts introducing you to the game Genius of Finance, saying that there are two stages, the circle of development and circle of success. And you see that there is an inside and outside circle with some time limits, because every corner of this circle is the financial year. We go through one quarter, not financial year, but financial quarter, composed of 3 months. We get our income, then take another movement, another financial quarter, and get the income. And the first thing to do is to select your profession, your occupation. After you select your occupation, let's have a look what is going on the board. And here the key thing is that this game includes a number of players. All those attending the game, they are different heroes, and in addition to that, for you as a player, you have access to the key parameters of this game. You see the amount of cash you have at this moment, how many types of income you have. You may start the game as an employed guy with no passive income, or you may start the game as a businessman or entrepreneur having some incomes from your business lines, or there are those with some assets such as bank deposits or securities. You can find all this information on this screen, each figure, each bar. When you navigate the arrow, when you click it, so you will read more about these figures. And in the left-hand corner, this is the scale of increase of your passive income. You can always control increases in your passive income and what it includes. When you click this scale in the left-hand corner, you can see which assets generate passive income, either business or securities or cryptocurrencies, or possibly something else, real estate rented, offered for rental, and etc. All these can be seen here in this screen, as well as at the bottom in the right hand corner. There are another 3 buttons which detail your portfolio information. And now let's have a look how it is done in online version. This is the detailization of your portfolio. First of all, at the top, in different windows, you can see your goals. The game starts from your selecting your goal or dream you would like to reach while playing. And here you have the explanation what your portfolio includes in a very user-friendly way. Through the diagrams, you see what makes up your portfolio, your investments, your capitalization, your monthly passive income generated by your assets. In the middle of this screen, you can see your balance, how much you earn, and your expenditures, monthly expenditures and costs. If you have children, as the game starts when we are all single, very ambitious and very goal-oriented, but throughout the game there are some sectors where you can get married, and in a number of hours of your playing you may have several kids, and meaning that your expenditures will increase like in our real lives. And the detailization of your game status could be seen here. When you close this window, you will be backed to the common screen, and after the demo game is over, when you play against computer, you can see all your results. You may see the final portfolio you managed to shape while playing and your rank. At the bottom of the screen, there is the first, the second, and the third, whether you are in the top list or not. If yes, my congratulations, then you can select a regime of real game against real players. If you are not satisfied with your result in playing, and you may not understand something and you want to be trained again, then you may restart this demo game again. It will not be repeated, as at random the system on its own selects the game situation to offer, and every time this game will be new and you can practice different occupations. In one demo game round, you may be an accountant or a driver or a doctor, an entrepreneur, a police officer, a lawyer. So many occupations there are, and every time your game will be different, new. But as soon as you are satisfied and you more or less understand how it is done, then you can go to the game mode. In my next slide, you will see your game back office for online version. So you come to your office, and here you may select any room waiting for potential players. They will be sorted out in line with languages, the degree of complexity. For beginners, there will be one set of rooms. for those who played many times and would like to play against those at this specific level, the degree of complexity will be different. If you cannot find your playroom and no one is waiting for a player to join them in line with your language or degree of complexity, you can create your playroom having these parameters. First of all, the language. You will call this room, give it the name, and the timing of the movement. I recommend, if you start playing for the first time, select more time for thinking over, for discussion. But if you are rather experienced, then the time could be limited when you are ready to take your decision in a conscious way, understanding the implications of these decisions. And at the same time, you may order or arrange a game with a host being present. In case the hosts at this moment are free, ready to comment and to tell you what you may expect from the game, then he or she will join you. And there is a possibility to make the prize pool, meaning that either a person who creates a room on his own will finance the prize pool, and then in the end, at the end of the game, it will be distributed among the winners of the game, or those who creates the room may propose every player to contribute to this prize pool. No real money is required. This is the internal game currency. Inside, there will be our internal currency units, but later on, we plan to integrate this game with our blockchain. And currently, the company is doing its blockchain, where there will be tokens that from this game or playroom could be converted and traded on the exchange as the real money. It will be done later on. This is the next phase, but now you can simply accumulate these game tokens, coins, with a potential to convert them into real money later on. Look, our plans, mostly I have commented them. So online version will include registration authorization, the first step to enter the playroom. There will be a single user mode against a computer and multi-user mode when, together with you, people from different countries play the same game at the same time. There will be some contests and tournaments, and I have introduced to you which parameters you may select. I believe we will expand even further the selection of these rooms depending on the time. Maybe there will be some planned schedules, but it will be later on. For the time being, the current entrance is possible. Look, you enter and you look what is going on. Either there is a game running or they are waiting for someone to join. Then you will have your back offices, your wallets, with a possibility to see your accumulation of coins, the functions of hosts and administrators. Chats and Telegram bots will be connected. Telegram bot will enable you to recruit new customers, and a chat inside in-house the game, it will enable the players to collaborate with each other. Integration with the API, it will be there, but for the time being, look, only those who are registered in the back office of the API can play this game. The primary registration is with the Academy, and only our clients and partners have access to online version. Later on, there will be paid subscription. That is when we launch paid tournaments. Look, there will be these prize pools made up with the relevant top lists, and it will be done on blockchain, and then you can convert your game coins into real money. Well, I believe these are the key points. For the time being, it is available only in Russian. We will finalize testing. Actually, I'd like to actually do it by New Year, and this year present to you the production version. So every day we run intensive testing. There are a lot of bugs and deviations, and with IT team we work really hard to make it in full compliance with copyright for this game. As soon as it is done, you will be given this game and you can free of charge play. Everyone can enter, and these demo versions and the beginner, so the beginner stage, will be without any payment to be paid, any fees to be paid. Look, here I want to sum up. Today I told you about three formats of our training. The first thing you can do is to order a game with a host and take part in the first training, which was developed in 2017, which is run only by certified trainers and in the specific regions where these hosts or trainers live. You may order such a training, but this game is out of production and new trainers are not trained for that old version. In addition to that, there is a board game released. It is our priority, and we are ready to provide it to anyone willing. And in addition to that, we are ready to certify. You may read the rules on your own and play this board game at home, or to get a host certificate. Such training courses will be provided in December. The sales of these training courses will be launched, and there you can get a certificate for three versions: a training, a board game, and online game. I wanted a lot that you understand that all these three modes are a tool to promote the idea of financial literacy and portfolio investing. And since they are a tool, each of our partner can earn through these games by inviting new players, new participants. And for instance, there are clubs for Cash Flow by Robert Kiyosaki. In each town, you can find these clubs. On the internet, you can see the price list, and similar to these clubs, everyone who has a board game can run similar clubs and arrange games for new participants who don't have a board game. So every game is a tool of additional, is a source of additional earning. And I wish everyone to take part in this game and to feel, experience this game, play it or buy it on your own. At present, on sales, we have GoPro packages with Genius of Finance included. So for the time being, you can buy it only in the package of this event. And this event will start in 1 week on the 11th of December. Afterwards, they will be sold separately. And the price for the VIP club members will be 350 units. and the training for the certification will cost 1,000 units. For the time being, no installments are provided because we can ship the game only when the money is received. And for you not to wait, you buy a game and get it, and the Russian post delivers for quite long, and therefore it takes a long time for them to deliver. Therefore, we decided that no installments for the time being will be provided. But I can inform you that there will be some promotions and discounts for the Genius of Finance purchase. I don't know how fast they will be offered. According to our plan, we are going to sell 300 board games at a discount under the promotions, and the news about this will be on our website, in the back office, and at our webinar, so you can buy it with an additional discount. Many people ask why the price is so high, 350 units. Look, the price is quite reasonable and affordable, I believe, because together with the game you get access to our training courses, and a lot of courses will be included into this package, and you will get the primary educational packages through which you will learn the rules and principles of investing, of forming your incomes, and the investment portfolio as well. And in addition to that, the game includes additional bonuses. You may get all the information after the order is arranged. And please don't forget to fill out the questionnaire, the form with the address, because the following happened. Many people bought the board game but failed to actually enter their details in that form, and now we need to be in a hurry to find out where to ship. To avoid this, after you made a purchase, find a letter from the company with this questionnaire and fill out all the details. We have made the shipment so far, and even there are those who already say that they have received it. My congratulations, because we were really keen for our partners to get these bonuses from our company. We have over 150 marathon runners this year. There was a long-lasting marathon with a lot of information to study, and those who were our productive and efficient students, they got these gifts, over 150 games shipped worldwide to the winners of our marathon. And this is my full information. I'm done for today, but there is another important thing to note by certified trainers. All those who have a certificate for running as a host the first version of the game, upon the decision of Andrei, you may be re-certified with 90% discount. So for those newly certified, it will cost 1,000 units, whereas for those already certified, you will take your re-attestation, re-certification at 100 units, and you will get the landing, auto funnel, you will get the channel that will supply people interested in this game. You may sell these games by your referral link and invite them to attend your paid charged trainings. People may come and participate. So this is the news for all of you. If you want to become a trainer, a host, I encourage you to enroll. And all those who want to buy a board game, it is already available. You can actually buy this game. We have another 10 minutes left. I'm ready to answer all your questions. So if there are any questions, please, our dear translators, ask them. No questions about the game? Look, this is my 5 webinar in a row, and there were a lot of questions, but now there are no questions, meaning that it is clear to anyone. And I'd like to see the feedback from all those who received or will receive this game. Quite likely you will have your questions about running this game. You may raise them in the chats or to the email you can find on the box, and we will try to answer all these questions. If you fail to raise your question in the chat, then next week, not next, but 2 weeks after, there will be another webinar held, and you can ask all the questions at the webinar in 2 weeks. It was my pleasure to see you all. So it's time to wrap up. The hour has passed, 1 hour has passed. So I do thank each of you for your time and looking forward to meeting you again at my next forthcoming webinars. Bye-bye.